गजाननं भूतगणातिसेवितं कपित्थजम्बूफलसारभक्षितम् उमासुतं शोकविनाशकारणं नमामि विघ्नेश्वरपादपङ्कजम् आपदामपहर्तारं दातारं सर्वसम्पदां लोकाभिरामं श्रीरामं भूयो भूयो नमाम्यहम् आर्तानामार्त्यन्तारं भीतानां भयनाशनं द्विषतां कालदण्डं तं रामचन्द्रं नमाम्यहम् रामाय रामभद्राय रामचन्द्राय वेदसे रघुनाथाय नाथाय सीतायापतये नमः कूजन्तं राम रामेति मधुरं मधुराक्षरम् आरुह्य कविताशाखां वन्दे वाल्मीकिकोकिलं वाल्मीकिमुनिसिंहस्य कवितावनचारिणः शृण्वन् रामकथानादं को न याति परां गतिम् गोष्पदीकृतवारीशं मशकीकृतराक्षसं रामायणमहामाला रत्नं वन्दे नीलात्मजम् अञ्जनानन्दनं वीरं जानकीशोकनाशनं कपीशमक्षहन्तारं वन्दे लङ्काभयङ्करम् मङ्गलभवन अमङ्गलहारी मंगलभवन अमंगलहारी द्रौ सुदशरथ अचिरे विहारी द्रौ सुदशरथ अचिरे विहारी जय 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 हनुमान गोसाई जय 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 हनुमान गोसाई कृपा करो गुरु देव की नाई कृपा करो गुरु देव की नाई जय 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 हनुमान गोसाई मंगल भवन अमंगल हारी जनक सुता जग जननी जानकी अतिशय प्रिय करुणा निधान की ताके युगपद कमल मनाऊं जासु कृपा निर्मल मति पाऊं. We were in the journey to the southern direction. In Kishkindha Kanda, we were with the search party which was led by Angada. It was the crack force of Sugriva which went south. Neela, who would be commander-in-chief later, was one of them. Gandhamadra, Mainda, Dviveda, Hanuman, Jambavan. And we saw that they went south and they searched every forest, every mountain, every valley, every cave, every river, every stream, every thicket, every burrow. And then at one point of time they had come across a very dreadful forest which was completely dry. The rivers were dry, the trees were dry, there were no birds, there were no animals. Huge forest. They had searched there. And Valmiki tells us that that forest was a place where Rishi Kandu had lived, and Kandu Rishi had a son. It was a thriving forest. But his son had got lost in the forest and he died. And in anger, Kandu Rishi had cursed the forest that it would not be able to offer any hospitality to any bird or beast. And that was the reason why the forest had become like that. They searched in that forest and they searched in other dreadful places at times. At one place they had a huge asura who charged at them shouting, "Dead, dead, dead you are." And Angara thought maybe it was Ravana. One slap he gave him and the asura had died. They searched non-stop for weeks. Night and day they searched. And they found nothing, and they were all extremely tired and dejected. And came a time when not an ape seemed to be in a mind to move even one more inch. And Angara, who was the leader, he had a job in his hands. He had to re-energize them now. He told them, "Listen, we are all in this together. We have searched together. We have strived in every way. We have not found Sita. Nor have we found the Rakshasa who carried away Sita. Sita, who is like the daughter of gods, is somewhere out there and we haven't been able to get any clue yet. And also a lot of time has passed in our search so far. And we know that Sugriva is not a forgiving sort of king. He hands out severe punishments. So we don't have time to rest. We have to continue our search. We cannot afford to sit back now. We have to set aside our fatigue. We have to set aside our sorrow and drowsiness. I know drowsiness is keeping on setting in, but we've got to go now. Because anirvedam jadakshyam ja manasascha parajaya karya siddhikaranyahu tasmadetad bravimyam anirvedam ja dakshyam ja manasascha aparadaya. It is said that unabated enthusiasm, skill, and a mind that refuses to be defeated, these are the secrets of success. And that is why I tell you this. Let us forget the fatigue and continue our search. Let us once again ransack everything from here in the southern direction. Avashyam kriyamanasya drishyate karmanah phalam alam nirvedamagamya nahino milanam kshamam. Avashyam kriyamanasya drishyate karmanah phalam. Definitely, if we put effort, there will be fruit. At some point of time or not, we will find. Therefore, let us not succumb to dejection. It would not do for us to close our eyes now. Sugriva is short-tempered. And he hands out fitting punishments. We must be fearing his anger. We must have fear of his wrath. And we must fear Rama. I say this in your own interest. Do as I say. Do as I say, all of you, if it appeals to you. Or tell me What shall we do now? To this, Gandhamadana, one of the aged ape chiefs who was there in that group, his voice was feeble with fatigue and thirst. He told all the group, "Will let us go with what Angada says." Thereupon they all took a deep breath, got up and started searching again. They assembled the silver mountain right to the top, but they could not find anything. They could not find Vaidehi. They were dead tired. They came down the mountain and they could not move anymore. They collapsed with fatigue and just took some rest. Hanuman and some of the other great apes got up first and they began to search all over again. They searched every hill and every thicket and every wood, every forest, the haunts of lions and tigers. They just went in everywhere without fear. And they were going further and further south, the Vindhya mountain towards the southwest. End of Vindhyas. And they knew that the time for search must be getting over. They went further south, and at one time, at one place, they were all dead tired. There were no water, they were thirsty, they were hungry, they were dejected. And at one place in the mountain, they noticed a very strange sight. Suddenly they found there was a thicket, there was a lot of trees, thick overgrowth in the mountain towards the top. And out of which suddenly they found some aquatic birds are coming out. Some cranes, swans, chakravaka birds, just flying out from that thicket. And their bodies they seemed to be dripping with water from there. The monkeys, who are overcome by hunger and thirst, watched wonderstruck at this. And they realized, Hanuman said, "Look at those birds. They are all wet. There must be some well there. Or maybe a pool of water. Something is hidden there. Let us go and see." So it's a big thicket. They smashed their way through that thicket inside, deep into that growth. And suddenly they found there was a huge entrance on the ground, black cavern, one cave, dark cave, was hidden, very well concealed by that thicket was there. They peered into it. And they got a very nice smell, scent, fragrance coming from there. All the monkeys smelled nice, smell is coming from this cave. And just as they were looking, suddenly some lions came out of that. The monkeys just were not afraid of lions and all that. They saw it go past. They did not falter. They decided to explore this place. Where is this? What is there inside? So they locked hands with each other, like that, and they walked into the darkness. There was this young American, William Buck, I think, I'm not sure, forgetting his name now. He died early. White guy, American. Where from, I don't know, somewhere he got interested in Ramayana and Mahabharata and all that, and he wrote a condensed version of Ramayana, condensed version of Mahabharata, and even started an Harivamsha Purana. Very beautiful ones. His Ramayana is outstanding. Outstanding. There he, in fact, he describes, he sees the monkeys going inside this cave, not hands locked, but each carrying the other's tail behind and going in. So they all went in, hands locked, and they kept going into the darkness, and they could see eyes, sharp eyes of the monkeys in the darkness. They could see something. They kept going, and they walked a whole yojana inside the cave, and their throats were parched with thirst. They kept walking, and with every step they were only losing hope. Nothing is there. We are just walking into this. And suddenly they saw some light. They kept walking towards that, and then they emerged into a huge cavern, huge sort of enclave inside that cave, which was brightly lit and very nice, very beautiful place. They couldn't believe it. It was incredible. Look around. There were trees of pure gold. There were trees with red trunks, with golden bunches of flowers. There were trees, silver trees of silver, around which platforms had been made of lapis lazuli gems, where you could sit. They looked around, they saw huge pools of water. They were very careful, they went and saw. There were huge lotus pools with golden lotuses, and there were lotuses which were velvet black. Beautiful lotuses, velvet black. Lotuses of the color of lapis, of gold. And in the pools of water, there were big silver fish swimming around here and there, and turtles. They looked here and there, and they found in that huge place, they now realized there are mansions of gold. There are golden houses there. There were golden houses which had windows covered with window shades. Window shades are made of ropes on which pearls had been strung. So pearl strings, window shades in houses of gold. And they saw in the open huge couches and seats. You could relax on deck. There were decks all laid with gems and gold. And near those seats in other places, there were huge tables which were laid out with food of all kinds. Food, sharbat, all sorts of fruit juices, all kept in big casks out there. All top quality looking. And just in case you wanted to, there were piles of brand new clothes, dresses just piled up. You could pick up what you wanted. Beautiful dresses. And there were divine looking carpets laid out here and there. And there were deer skins kept here and there. It is an incredibly beautiful place, deep inside the mountain, inside a dark cave, and nothing to explain what they saw. What is this place we have come to? They didn't touch a thing out there. They were all actually frightened by what they were seeing. Where are we? What is this place? Like that. And there must be somebody here. I mean, how can this place be? So they are looking around, and then they spotted. There was a lady. One lady was there. And she was a lady ascetic. She was a Taapasi. She was there. She was clad in tree bark, and she was wearing around which she had wrapped the skin of a black antelope. And she was there alone all by herself. She was thin. So presumably Valmiki says she hardly ate anything. All this was there around, but probably she didn't touch it. She hardly ate anything. But she was blazing with the tejas, the brightness that comes out of tapasya, of austerity. That, she was blazing like that, and she was there inside. And when the apes saw her, they froze. They said, what is this? Mightiest of apes. Seeing one Taapasi, they got frightened out of their wits. Where are we inside? It was left to Hanuman, who tiptoed to her. He tiptoed to her, she looked at him. He first prostrated to her fully. Old dame, it seems. She was an old, elderly Tapaswini. He prostrated to her and then got up with folded hands. He asked her, may we know who you are? May we know what this place is? Whose is this place? Who made all this? Who do all this incredible riches belong? We have come here, we came in here searching for food and water as we were overcome by hunger and thirst. But we haven't touched anything. In fact, we are stunned by this place, we are bewildered, we are frightened by all that we see here. Whose are all this? By whose power has all this been created? Is this real? I mean, could these be gold and silver and lapis and everything? Is this all a testimony of your Shakti? Or is it a testimony of somebody else's tapas Shakti? Madam, please enlighten us. Thus asked by Hanuman, the Taapasi, who Valmiki says lived a life of dharma, devoted to the welfare of all creatures, she replied, Mayo nama mahateja mayavi vanarashabha tenedam nirmitam sarvam mayaya kanchanam vanam. There is this great Danava, Nishachara, the opposite of Deva. There is a great Danava chief known as Maya. He is a Mayavi, a wizard of tremendous power. By his magic has been created this golden enclave. He is the architect of the Danavas. He did tremendous tapasya. Satvarsha sahasrani tapastaptva mahavane pitamahadvaram lebhe sarvamaushadasam dhanam. He did tapasya for thousands of years. And after that, he got a boon from Brahma. What was the boon that he had asked for? He obtained a boon inheriting the wealth of Shukracharya, Ushanas. And what was Shukracharya's wealth? Shukracharya was the master of all architecture. He could create paradises like that. He could materialize out of nothing. That entire knowledge of celestial architecture, which Shukracharya, the chief priest of Danavas, had, that he wanted, Maya. And that was given by Brahma to him. See, in our scheme of things, the Devas architect is called Vishwakarma. The Danavas architect is Maya. Both are equally great in their architecture fields. Knowledge is same. One for the good party, one for the bad party. Both are great people. Maya is great. Vishwakarma is great. In fact, there is a school of thought and that they are the same. Vishwakarma, when he works for Devas, he goes by the name Vishwakarma. When he works for Danavas, he is known Maya. I think his daughter is only Mandodari. Maya. Maya got the boon of the wealth, the riches of Shukracharya was his. Vanam vidhaya balavan sarvakameshwarastada uvas sukhitah kalam kanchidasmin mahavane. Having created this golden enclave, this golden woods, this strong man, Maya, Sarvakameshwarastada, says Valmiki, he commanded all that the heart could desire, was in his command. He lived happily in this golden enclave for some time. And then, poor fellow, Tamap sarasi hemayam saktam danava pungavam vikramyaivasanim dhrikya jaganetrah purandarah. Then he got stuck on an apsara of renown of name Hema. And Indra used that opportunity and used his Vajrayuda to finish him off, Maya. So there was his golden enclave. The creator was dead. Or rather he was driven away, whatever it was not there. And he had been stuck on this apsara of name Hema. So Brahma then gave away this entire golden enclave to Hema, saying, yours, you keep it. All this is being told by this Taapasi who is sitting there to Hanuman. So she tells him, Duhita meru savarne raham tasya Swayamprabha idam rakshami bhavanam hemaya vanarottama mama priya sakhi hema nritta gita visharada taya dattavara chasmi rakshami bhavanottamam. I am the daughter of Meru Savarni. And Hema, my name is Swayamprabha. And Hema is my dear friend. And I am here, idam rakshami bhavanam hemaya. I am here, I am caretaker here. I am taking care of this place, which is actually Hema's. On her behalf, I am here. I am protecting this place. She is my dear friend, Priya Sakhi Hema. Nritta Geeta Visharada. She is an expert in singing and dancing among Apsaras. And she gave me a boon, Taya Dattavara. She gave me a boon. It doesn't exactly specify what the boon is. She gave me a boon because of which I am here. And I am protecting this place. People, commentators say the boon was that nothing can be in her way. She'll be, no obstacles will come in her way. That boon was given to her. So she was there, all by herself. She wanted to do tapas. This was a great place. No problem, all by herself. Hema had gone. She had other assignments. Actually, Indra, according to the commentators, Indra had a problem when Maya became so powerful. He wanted to get rid of Maya, so he had put Hema on the job. So Hema on the job, then the Arman slipped from his niyama of. Then that was opportunity as enough for Indra to finish it. That was how this whole thing set up. Now Hema was given this enclave, but that's all right. She has Indra's favor. He had gone off, given to her friends, saying, you take care. So Swayamprabha has been taking care of this place. Now this Hema is not an ordinary person. Earlier itself in the Balakanda, in Ayodhya Kandam, when we came across that scene where Bharata and his entire army had gone searching for Rama, they had stopped near Bharadwaja's ashram. Then Maharshi Bharadwaja had said, I would like to entertain you, O king, and the army, etc. Then he said, how? Then he said, no, come. Then the night he had entered, one whole night of the most incredible entertainment. He had invoked all the rivers, he had invoked all the Vishwakarma, he had invoked the Gandharvas, ha ha, hu hu, tumburu, all the greatest of the Gandharva musicians, all the great Apsaras, everybody, food, everything he had invoked. And among the Apsaras, there were some named Apsaras that he invoked, saying all the Apsaras should come. Specifically, he gave a small list. This following 8 have to be, he had invoked. They must come. They were Gritachi, Matavishwachi, Mishrakeshi, Malambusam, Nagatantam, Chehemam, Himamadrikatasthalam. Gritachi, Vishwachi, Mishrakeshi, Alambusa, Nagadanta, Hema, Hima. These were called by name. They have to come. So they had all come at that time. So this story was told by Swayamprabha to Hanuman, saying, this place belongs to Hema. I am her friend. She has given me a boon that I am okay, and I am taking care of this place on her behalf. I am protecting this place. So that is who I am. Now, who are you? How did you find this place? And what are you looking for? Tell me. But first, I can see you are all hungry and thirsty, so have some food, have some drinks, have your fill, Then tell me all about what brings you here. Atatan abravit sarvan vishrantan hariyuthapan idan vachanam ekagra Taapasi dharmacharini. So when she had said this, that was enough, that invitation. Oh, these Vandras just attacked the food. All sorts of fruits and everything, the best. They couldn't believe that such food can exist. They were hungry, and all juices, pools, they splashed. They ate like they could never have eaten in their life. They all had everything. So after that, they were so tired, they slept nicely. And then they all got up. They all now nicely rested at that time. Taapasi, Swayamprabha. Valmiki says, Taapasi, Dharmacharini, Ekagra. With a alert, attentive, yogic mind she had. She was waiting and all of them were ready. She said, yes. Vanara yadi vakheda pranashta phalabhakshanat yadi chaitan maya shravyam shrotumichhami kathyata. Oh apes, if your weariness has all been taken care of, if you are all happy with all the fruits and all that you've eaten, then if it is all right for me to hear, then I would like to hear your story. Hanuman, Valmiki says, being straightforward by nature, he answered her truthfully. No chakkar and all he didn't do. He answered us truthfully. He told her, this is the reason why we are here. All about Sugriva, Rama, Sita being kidnapped by Ravana, their friendship of Rama and Sugriva, the killing of Vali, the search for Sita, how they had come in the south, how they had got lost, all the hunger, thirst, how they had found this cave, they had come in, all that he told her. And then he told her, ma'am, you have saved our lives. You have saved our life. We would have been dead. We were all dying. You have now given us a new life, so what shall we do to repay your kindness? Please tell us. How can we repay your kindness? So when she heard this, Valmiki says she was a sarvagnya. Evam muktva tu sarvanya vanraihi taihi Swayamprabha pratyuvat tadah sarvan midam vanarayuthapan. Swayamprabha was omniscient. She knew. She was a sarvagya. She answered, I am extremely pleased with all of you apes. I have done nothing. I on my part only have done my dharma. So, no one needs to do anything for me. Nothing has to be done for me. Then Hanuman said, but we need your help. We have more or less run out of time that has been allotted to us for our search. And we are here. It is a tremendous responsibility that has been given to us by Sugriva. And that responsibility, by spending time here, we have neglected that. The delay has happened. Now we need to get out of this cave. We need your help. She said, it's not possible to get out of this cave. It is impossible for anyone who has come into this cave to go out alive. But I shall get you out. I shall get you out by the power of my tapasya, got from long practice of disciplines. But for that, all of you will have to close your eyes. Because no one can get out of this place with their eyes open. All the monkeys close their eyes with their hands, Valmiki says, and their fingers, desperate, nothing, no. And they immediately did that. No sooner they did that, instantly they were transported outside by Swayamprabha. And not just that, when they opened their eyes, when she told them to open, they were outside and she was with them. And she pointed out, look, that's the Vindhya mountain. That is the Prasravana mountain. And in front of you, she turned, here. The great ocean. She had brought them to the southern ocean. Here's the ocean. And now great apes, may all be well with you. I'm going home. Poof, she had gone. In Tulsi Ramayana, when the group going south, Sugriva had prepared this crack force. And then in front of Rama, he had given them a pep talk, this group. Special talk. And divine. Tulsi Ramayana is different from Valmiki in that Rama is God. And then each of those apes, Angada onwards, one by one, they had come before leaving, they take blessings from Rama. One by one they came in a line, bowed to Rama. And last in that line was Hanuman. He let everybody go first, and last he had gone. And Rama, when Hanuman came to him, very briefly, in few pages, Valmiki addresses all of this. Goswami Tulsidas addresses. He said, Rama, when he came in board, Rama stroked his head affectionately. And then when he looked up, he took off his mudrika in which Ram name was etched and gave it to him. Here. And then told him, just 2 lines. Comfort Sita. Comfort Sita in various ways. And then return quickly. After telling her of my might. And the agony of my heart due to separation from her. Go. See, so much is said in 2 sentences. Comfort her in whatever manner you can, means you will see her. You comfort her in whatever manner you can. Tell her Rama, remind her, mighty Rama is there. But tell her also, he is suffering badly without you. The last part may be of more interest to her than anything else. She may want to know, how is he doing? If he is suffering and I am happy, it's a natural reaction that she would have. So Rama knows that. So he's saying, tell her, he's suffering out of separation. These 2 sentences. And Goswami Tulsidas says, Hanuman, when he took that mudrika and he got this message, he felt that his life's purpose had been fulfilled. And Chalev Hriday Dhari Kripa Nidhana. He left with the image of Rama in his heart. He moved. Now, there's another digression we'll go today and then we'll pick up the thread of the story next time. But digression is this. Now he got the mudrika. The ring thing with the name written, which he kept in his mouth. Others didn't get it. He didn't give it to Angada, who was the leader. He gave it to Hanuman. In this context, see, there's this beautiful, fantastic book, collection of pravachanas by Swami Subodhanand. He is a sannyasi Swami now in the Chinya mission, North India. He is spoken on Ramcharit Manas. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. See, this pravachana also is of many kinds. There is that which is commercial, which is important, reaches to 1 million people. Books, bestsellers, all that. Then it goes deeper and deeper, the other pravachanas. There are those finally in the deeper level who are actually living that what they are telling. How on earth will you ever be able to understand the rasa of Goswami Tulsidasa's Ramcharit Manas if there is not that grace that you are able to at least have some understanding of that, you are living some of that. And then some of them live much of that. The Swami is one who has the deepest kind of thing. So he is talking, he mentions about this point. And I had mentioned this earlier in some other smaller context. I thought I will explain it a little bit more today. This is what happened. He says, he mentioned in his book an episode saying I was with some unnamed Swami, he calls him Maharaj Ji, who was telling me something, and that in this context he was talking about it. And then I read that episode. Then I said, I have read this. This Maharaj Ji is none other than our Maharaj Sri Swami Akhandananda Saraswati. But he has not mentioned the name, and he has got nothing to do with Akhandananda Saraswati. He is Swami Chinmayananda Mission. In that book, at least till where I had read, he had not mentioned any Akhandananda Saraswati. He is a Maharaj Ji. But that story was so unique, which I have read in Swami Akhandananda Saraswati's book in Hindi, that I knew this cannot be anybody else. This is that story. This is he. So I had written to Swamiji, whom I know in his ashram in Vrindavan, saying that Swami Vivekananda's book I was reading, very nice, etc. He mentions this. I am convinced that this is only Maharaji, who is Maharaji's Guru. This Swamiji to whom I am written, his Guru was Maharaji. So I said, your Guru, he is only talking about the same. So has he spent time with Maharaji? I mean, how is he writing about this? This Swamiji to whom I used to write, he is a doctor, medical doctor who took sannyas many years ago. Must be 1981 or so. So you can imagine. 40, 50 years ago, he has taken sannyas. So he wrote to me a handwritten letter. Normally, I have met him so many times. There are certain rules you don't break when you are talking to sannyasis or brahmacharis who are in the path. For one, you don't ask them about their past. You cannot ask them, where are you from, what is your mother tongue, where do you come from. And if by chance you ask somebody, some other sannyasis say, don't ask, you're not supposed to ask. I don't know, but in some sense I had asked him, has he been? Where is this man? Has he met? Etc. Means I don't know. We might have met him earlier also, before he became sannyasi. I didn't know exactly, I was transgressing any question, but nothing. He wrote a nice reply to me, saying that Omkar, this Swami Subhadanand's original name. And I, bracket, he wrote his original name, which he had never told me earlier. We were both Sahapati, we were co-students in the first batch of Vedanta taken in Sandipani Ashram in 1981. We were together, we were studying first batch in Simya Mission's Vedanta course, we were students, co-students. I, after over 10 months of attending that, left, came off to Maharaj Sri, and then he had given me sannyas. He, Omkar, continued there and he studied 2.5 years. Then he took Brahmacharya Diksha and he was Brahmachari Vishal Chaitanya. And then he had come, yes, Astu, he had come to Akhanda Swami Maharaj Sri, and he learnt under Maharaj Sri. Then later he went back and he became Swami Subodhananda. But right, you got it, he's the man. So the story that Swami Subodhananda says like this, and I'm now going to tell you from the book of Maharaj Sri what he says, and he says it's very simple, nice one. It's in Hindi, I'll just quickly tell you in English. Swami Ekhananda says it was around 1930 or 31 or so. And Kankhal near Hardwar, where now Anandamayi Ma's Samadhi temple is there, Ramakrishna Mission, a very holy place. Near Kankhal, there was some ashram, there was Mahamandaleshwar, very, very learned scholarly place. Swami Maharaj used to go there at that time to learn from the Mahamandaleshwar Shankar Bhashya. So you can imagine the stature of that Mahamandaleshwar. Swami Ekhananda Saraswati is the greatest of. It's like a Shankaracharya going and learning from somebody when he is young. Like that he has gone and learned from. So he says, I was young. I was learning from him. And then I asked him, Ashisht, matlab not very civilized way, not in a very, I shouldn't have done that, but one day I went and asked him to this guru who was teaching Shankara Bhashya, or Mahamandaleshwar, saying, sir, do you know any Mahatma here? You are with one Mahatma. You go and ask him, do you know any Mahatma? What is this the way he was teaching you Shankara Bhashya? He said, that Mahamandaleshwar smiled. He said, you mean you want to know if there's any Virakt Mahatma here? Somebody who has given up everything. He said, yes. He said, there is. He said, there is. Then he told him where to find him. There's one guy, one Bhikshu, Shankaranand Giri. I think he's the person you may be looking for. Told him where to find him. There's one place, one ruins near the Ganges somewhere, absolute ruins. Inside that ruins there are huge beehives and moth. And inside that dust was all over the place. Inside that in sack, some 4 or 5 sacks, laid on top of it, and bhikshus sitting. So our man went in, young man. So that man smiled, laughed. Like, hi, where have you come? Maharaj, he said, aapko dekh, I come for your darshan. आपके दर्शन के लिए आए. Oh, he laughed, it seems. अरे अपना दर्शन करो. You see yourself. आप ही आप हो. There's nothing other than you, yourself. इसके लिए आपको आने जाने की क्या आवश्यकता? Where is the need for you to go here and there to search for yourself? Swamiji says, I like the answer. And he said, I slowly when he used to go to him, I found that once a day he used to go for bhiksha. Otherwise he was here only. And he used to drink Ganges water. He had nothing, he had one small jholi, one bag which he used to hang somewhere. And he had that khullad, that clay ka thing in which water could be taken for him to drink water, and that when he breaks, he will get another khullad. Otherwise, they had nothing. Nothing, he was there. And then we got to know this young man, and knew that this young man was Swamiji was an enthusiast of Bhagavatam, Maharaj. And this bhikshu was He never used to even use the word Brahman, it's only Atma. Atma. And he had no time or interest in Bhagavatam, Bhakti. And he used to make fun of Swami Akhandananda Saraswati, saying, what are you doing? What? Why Bhagavatam? Atma. Like that. And our man said, no, he took it upon him and said, no, Swamiji, Bhagavatam you must know. If you allow me, I will tell you some things. He said, okay, tell me, what is there? So he said, I started with Ekadasha Skandam, 11th Skandam of Bhagavatam, about Sri Krishna. Told him, Swami Akhandananda Saraswati is a fount, is a Gangotri of Bhagavatam. Today, if there is Bhagavatam being told all over India, including South everywhere, he starts here. He is the one who. The young man at that time, he told him. So he liked what he heard. Then he said, I told him Saptama Skandam after that, which includes the story of Prahlada, it includes Avadhuta, and quite a few things, of a Grahastha who was given the way to find Paramatma, all that. And then he liked that. He said, Baba, is this the treatise in which Raslila and all is there? Achha, then Raslila also must be something which I don't understand. You tell me Raslila. He said, I told him Raslila. He said, I told two commentaries. Learned people will know, we don't know. He said, I took this one commentary where Raslila is Nivritti Parayan. The commentary is on where the entire thing is based on Nivritti, that is the renunciation. The other one, which is Sridhari Tika, where the Raslila is explained with Nivritti Para. I mean, it is above Nivritti, etc. It is explained, all of that. He said, he heard, rapt. He said, you tell me the whole thing. He said, 3 months I told him Bhagavatam. Every day, he'll hear. Then over. Then his time to stay in Kankhal was also getting over. Maharashi, he wanted to go off somewhere else. He had to take leave from this Bhikshu. So Bhikshu said, you come here. Took you inside his ruins, said, sit down. He sat down. Our man was sitting in his sack wala platform. Ground, young Akhandananda Saraswati is sitting there. Then he gave him a small little lecture in Vedanta. I'll read out the lecture to you. Essentially, he said in that listen, Savdhan, be attentive, listen to this attentively. You yourself are the Shuddha Buddha Sachidananda Tattva. He gave the essence of Vedanta to him, saying that you are not the body. The entire purpose of him being born is to realize that you are not the body and that there is something that you are not. That is the purpose of Jivatva. There is no other purpose for which you have been born. You must realize that. And then from this, you must clearly know that you are not a Jiva, you are not the body. This is what you must have a clear realization of, etc. I told him all that in his own this thing, and then said, I am telling you all this because I am giving you this as dakshina for your telling me the Bhagavatam. And then he said, then Swamiji said, he says, कुछ चमत्कार सा हो गया. He says there was a wonder when he told me that I am telling you this as a dakshina for Bhagavatam, because he knew in tradition that the dakshina for Bhagavatam is jnana upadesh. Dakshina that needs to be given for listening to Bhagavatam is jnana upadesh. I mean, firstly, this is not known, who knows? It is only a Mahatma of the highest order will know, and he said, I am giving you. And he said, from that moment that he had told me, from that moment till now, I have never ever had this feeling that I am the Jiva or I am the body. It went. That moment that he gave me this Upadesha, it has gone. So this story, Swami Subodhanand, says some Maharaji told me this story. So I realized this must be. He didn't say the other name, Chankrandapuri also, nothing. So then in his mind, was saying that if that Swamiji could tell you, Swamiji, and you immediately from that moment onwards you have not had this bondage, so why not you tell me? If you tell me, then I'll also get realization that I am not the body. He was just thinking like that in his mind. When Swamiji turned to him and smiled and said, it doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. For me at that moment it was right. I might have worked for it in many births and I might have worked for it in this birth, etc. And at that point it was right, he gave it, it could be done. So he says, for Hanuman, at that point it was right. Rama to take off, stroke his head, to take off his own ring with the name written in it and give it to him. He didn't give it to anybody else. And he realized that his life's purpose is fulfilled. On that note, we'll conclude here and we'll take off from there next time. Har Namah Parvati Pataye Janaki Kanta Smaranam Gopika Jivana Smaranam Vetrivel Muruganuk Sri Sadguru Swamina Sri Anjaneya Swamina